Prince William has endeared himself to the public with the same shy smile as his mother, Princess Diana. So in this video, I'm going to look at what's behind Prince William's reserved and somewhat serious manner and analyse the personality traits of the Duke of Cambridge. So today, let's talk about Prince William and the cool blues. Are you a people watcher? Do you find human behaviour fascinating? Because if you do, then this is the channel for you. I'm Sue Blackhurst and I bring the world of social psychology into everyday language. So make sure that you subscribe and then hit that notification bell, as this video is just one of a whole series on why people do what they do. So if you've been following this series of videos on personality profiles, then do feel free to jump to the time that I'm going to put here, because I'm just going to do a very quick recap for those who haven't seen this before. So if you haven't seen my videos before, I'm just going to do a very quick recap on where we're all up to. You can watch the full videos here, but I'll start off introducing where we're up to. There are 4 basic types of behaviour. We have our reds and our yellows, who are extroverts, and our blues and greens, who are introverts. You can then break them down into our reds and blues being our task-focused behaviours, and our yellows and greens being our people-focused behaviours. So now we have 4 colours. We've got our reds as our task-focused extroverts, our yellows as our people-focused extroverts, our greens as our people-focused introverts, and our blues as our task-focused introverts. Now we've all got all 4 of these colours in our personalities, but one is going to be more dominant. I suppose it's a bit like mixing paint. If you've got, let's say, a greater percentage of blue than red, you're going to be a more bluey purple and portray more of the blue behavioural traits. But if you've got a greater percentage of red than blue, then you're going to be more of a sort of crimson purple, and you'll portray a high percentage of the red traits. I will go into more detail as I do future videos. Now, we also have our natural and our adapted style of behaviour. Our natural style is the behaviour that we feel most comfortable with. It's how we are with friends and family, and it's our most relaxed state. Our adaptive behaviour, on the other hand, is the behaviour that we exhibit when we need to temporarily alter what we do. Not change who we are, it's just temporarily alter what we do for either another person or a situation. Now, you can watch my videos on Meghan, Kate and Harry, but today I'm going to talk about Prince William and the cool blues. So Prince William is second in line to the British throne, and he approaches his role with grace and composure, and for that he's achieved increasing popularity amongst the people. But as Prince William's role within the royal family continues to evolve, having blue type behaviours, he may feel an element of this inner conflict between the need to be this conscientious and precise decision maker and the patient and courteous problem solver. By nature, the blues tend to focus on accuracy, precision and detail. They don't jump to conclusions or make rash decisions, as their analytical minds drive them to research all information to support their views and comments. Because for blues, it's all about quality and high standards. They don't ever accept it'll do or it's near enough. For a blue, comments and actions need to be precise, valid and evidenced. Now, this approach often gives blues the title of anchor of reality due to their ability to think through every detail and how something is going to work and the process required to make it happen. When we look at Harry first introducing Meghan into the family, it is reported that William advised his brother not to rush and expressed some apprehension about this rapid dive into a serious relationship. It's also claimed that William's reservations stemmed from the fact that he knew nothing about Meghan's background, her intentions or what she was really like. And as a blue with the need for clarity, this would have caused a huge amount of inner turmoil. Because the blues' natural need is to think critically, to identify all areas of concern, and this encourages them to question every detail and focus on finding out all the information before making any decisions, let alone a commitment. And this is an approach that William certainly adhered to when he first met Kate. Because William took his time with Kate, he not only understandably wanted to make sure that she was the right girl for him, he was also fully aware that whoever he married would have to learn how to adapt to the protocols, the roles and responsibilities of not only being a member of the British royal family, but in essence, the wife of the future King of England. For William, this process was not only natural to his blue behavioural type, but also became an essential part in how well Kate has adapted to a role and been accepted by the public. Balancing that against Harry's more yellow side that I discussed in my last video, Harry would have viewed William's analytical approach as being critical and questioning a lack of trust and judgment that would be enough to create a wedge and all the related stubbornness on both sides. If William as a blue says, "Let's find out more," Harry as a yellow would hear, "You're getting it all wrong," and walked away, just closing all these emotional doors behind him. Because the task-focused blues still have strong views like the task-focused red, but with a desire to avoid conflict like the introverted people-focused greens. And as a result, it can be really difficult to get a blue to verbalise their thoughts and feelings. They do tend to be calm, but they use detailed and evidence-based comments to win an argument. So from the early stage of conflict and in discussions and conversations between William and Harry, it would be extremely unproductive, as Harry's emotional view is just to spurt everything out that's racing around his head, and William's analytical view will be minimal words based on facts. So throughout all this royal upheaval, as a task-focused introvert, the blues tend to be very even-tempered, and William has certainly kept a consistent impression of calmness and diplomacy, whatever conversations are going on behind the palace doors. William has this air about him that instills us all with this sense that he's just got full control of every situation. When looking at my horse analogies, control is exactly the word that springs to mind, and for that it needs to be the dressage horse, because it's all about process, accuracy and perfection. The dressage horse is trained to follow a set number of steps in a certain time in a certain place. It's all about learning and following the rules. The dressage horse isn't after the public recognition of the cheering crowd, they're after the red rosette as evidence that they got it right. The dressage horse remains calm under pressure, and should something go wrong, these are the ones that smoothly carry on without any fuss or drama, pulling it all back together. So if you saw my last video on Harry and the yellows, you will remember that I talked about the yellows parking on double yellow lines to go to the cash point or ATM. And I said that if this fills you with horror, you're not a yellow, because the blues are the ones who would rather drive half a mile down the road and pay for parking rather than risk the fear of a fine. As fear is the key, and the reasons why blues pay so much attention to detail is the fear of the consequence. It's not the fear of being wrong, it's the fear of what would happen if they haven't planned or prepared for every eventuality. When Harry and Meghan announced that they were leaving the royal family, it would have really helped their case with William if they had just been far more prepared with their demands. Because even though it's the Queen who had the final say on how this transition would be played out, Charles and William, as heirs to the throne, would also have been vital to these negotiations, as the Queen would have been fully aware that they would be the ones that would be living with the decisions for many years to come. The announcement was made with what appeared to be very little planning, and they had very little structure and research to the case that they presented. Meghan as a red would more than likely be looking for the quickest exit, and Harry as the yellow would have seen no reasons why they couldn't leave with all the bits that he liked best. I can picture the negotiation meeting and fully understand why Meghan wasn't included. Meghan's red personality means that she wouldn't have listened or compromised. Harry would be totally unaware why he couldn't just do the fun stuff and keep all the benefits. And William would be totally aghast at the lack of critical thinking, forward planning and analysis of the consequence to each of their requests. Harry and Meghan had decided what they wanted but never thought about the how or the impact on anyone else. Looking at the rumoured rift between William and Harry, they are both approaching the exit from royal duty from totally different perspectives. A similar scenario to the emotions experienced on the day that Meghan was actually first introduced into the family. But then again, William and Harry could not be more different and have more opposite futures. Imagine having your career mapped out for you from the day that you're born. You will do the job that is passed down to you, despite whatever dreams and aspirations you have along the way. But just like Elizabeth and Margaret, the right sister was born into the right role. And as firstborn, William is certainly proving that he's the man for the top job. William appears to have understood and accepted his role, and even more importantly, he seems to be embracing the responsibilities of the position he will one day hold with ease. As his natural blue behavioural traits and high standards make him wisely assertive for the day that William finally becomes king. So a very quick update on my interior designing, because I've had a great meeting with Paul from Unique Walls, who is donating the design and installation of a one-piece wall mural for this background here. My only dilemma is to decide what to have, so please do check out all the designs on his website below and let me have your ideas. If you have missed the previous videos in this series, you can check them all out on the playlist over there. And if you've missed my last video on Prince Harry's personality type, you can catch that just down there. If you're enjoying my videos, please do share them and give yourself a big like for getting this far. Don't forget to leave your comments in the box below, and I will see you next time.